Copyright 2017 Win Your Brand. All rights reserved. This video is subject to copyright owned by Win Your Brand. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this video is expressly prohibited, unless Win Your Brand has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.
So welcome to day 3. Today we will look forward to conclude between 4 to 5. And what I want to do is we want to make sure like each one of you, if you have any questions, is not answered through the last 2 days. It will be answered before 3 o'clock. So if you have any questions, write them down so we can address them. Today we have the last 2 parts of the workbook, and we have also the free parts where we can talk about few things on your business. Yesterday I shared with everybody the 12 steps to brand mastery winning, and this sheet, and it describes activities which people have to do if you want to establish your name in a business based on who you are, like a career coaching or a recruitment support. Can talk about Christine today.
Yeah.
So if we wanna do it like Catherine Brownlee, if you know her, she's a very big name here in Calgary in recruiting.
Yep.
So we know Catherine Brownlee. When I was introduced to her, I didn't know what she's doing, but we know Catherine. We don't know she's doing recruitment. We know her, and when you go through what she's doing, you see her book, you see her activities, and she has this group or mastermind or group meetings, and then she has this monthly events and stuff. So when you have such thing, having a book is important. Having these activities is important. This is the rule which we have, and the golden rule is you know the rule and you break it. So this is our model on how people can make money selling information product, selling consultancy. Because if you are a consultant, you sell your information. If you are a facilitator or a group leader or a transformational coach or a life coach or an energy healer or a massage therapy, a physiotherapy, a fitness, all of these are demographic of people I was able to get them into running businesses. All of them have one thing in common. What they have in common is they sell information. Like when somebody stands in front of you and give you special, like one of the fitness coaches, she worked exclusively with elderly. So when she have her performance, or she shows the elderly how to do this specific movement, this comes from her own information. So when I talk about info product selling, it encumbers anything based on information you know through your experience, expertise, you learned in a book, you just copied from somebody, doesn't matter. It's a soft information. It's not a cup, is not a product. Okay? Saying that, we as Win Your Brand, as you notice, we have our own pens, we have our own books, we have our own cards and different things. So you may start selling information product, and in a very few months or years, you can actually sell this product, but you are primarily selling information products. So there's nothing wrong with somebody selling information product and promoting a t-shirt or mugs for fundraising. Like what Ahmed is doing, he will raise money. So the way for him to raise money is they talk, they speak, they have these different photos, they have their evidence of what they do, and then they'll come and say, you can support and maybe buy this cup or this paint for like $200. We know it costs them like $20, $50, and they will take the profit towards the cause they have. But at the end of the day, what they sell is information product. They don't sell food, they don't sell hard things, okay? So this is one of the most important. This is one of the most important distinction you should do. Okay. So today we will have the same exercise as yesterday, because as you remember, yesterday we talked about group how adult will learn. So we wanna have as well group of 4. Do we have enough group of 4, or you need to own it?
11 people.
So can we have a group of 4 and one group of 3? And today we have the sheets of yesterday and the sheets of the day before. They will be in the back of the office. There's a room there. I would like each one of you to get their brand promise sheet. So do you have your brand promise sheet with you? So anyone wants more brand promise sheets? Okay. Yeah. So take your brand promise sheet. When you go around in the group, as we did yesterday, review the sheets which we have over there, and please write 2 to 3 actions that you will take based on the information you will see there. If you don't have at least 3 spots, I do have extra brand promise sheets. So okay, there are 2 who were not here yesterday. So the 2 who were not here yesterday, please split yourself into the group of 4. So you can have 3 others who can share with you what happened yesterday. Okay. So right now is 9:30. So how long you gonna spend there? 20 minutes as yesterday, or 5 minutes per station? Okay. So
we've almost doubled the amount of paper now, right?
Yep.
Eight more.
So do you want to spend 10 minutes per station or 7 minutes? Mike, tell us the experience yesterday.
Well, we did 6 minutes for our group, and I think it was just the right amount of time, so maybe 8 minutes per station today.
Okay, so we can have 8 minutes per station. How many stations we have? 4? 5. So we still need to go back to 6 minutes per station.
It's half an hour.
Yeah. And come back here. We start back at 10. Now it's like few.
Yeah, there's one drawing that you made that we're not sure if it's a maze or if it's a circle and a circle and a circle and then
Bunch of lines in it. I couldn't figure that one out either.
It was the $160,000 car. After 8 years, the value is $20,000. One is ego-driven, one is practical.
Okay, so welcome back to the maze.
So you're not going to answer the question.
You will be amazed, okay? Welcome back to the maze. Yeah? Okay, so how was the experience outside?
For me, it was difficult
Why?
because a lot of the symbols, a lot of the letters, I could not relate to what they meant. And I'm very appreciative of Mike's memory about some of the stuff. And I looked into my own notes and trying to correlate what I was looking at the chart. So I had difficulty interpreting several of the charts.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you should send me back to school.
Well, it's
You should send me
clarity
back to
wasn't
school
there,
now.
I think, for me. Anyway.
Okay. What other experience do you guys have?
This was the VIP stuff.
What other experience?
It's good to repeat.
Yeah.
I know why you put doctor in your name, so it's an excuse for all the script on your charts. Like your prescription.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you should be doctor, right?
Okay.
Oh, he's a doctor. He can write that way. He's allowed.
So coming to the maze, guys, can just stop the side discussion, just get everybody in one group so we be effectively walking through the day. Coming to the maze is maybe a good start to talk about it today. So the question is around. It was around pricing, and if we recollect our thoughts, the question is why somebody will go and buy $160,000 car, which will be in 8 years $20,000.
Isn't it when you drive it off the lot?
Sometimes it is.
Sort of.
These vehicles, if you buy them off the lot of the dealer, will go out. If you buy it from the dealer and you have a license plate on it and you put it out, they will sell between 130 to 140. Even if you did not drive it, just the fact is licensed. So one of the common things we always ask is, what is the right price of what I buy or what I offer? And do you want me to repeat what was on the sheet over there with the maze and how, or you want me to elaborate more on the same topic? I can do both. I can draw the exact drawing as outside here, or I can go and elaborate more.
Both, please.
Both, please. Oh, wow. Okay, give me a hard time. Okay, what is the price? How many of you here is vegetarian? Do you follow the price of meat?
No.
Okay, so for people who are non-vegetarian, we will have task for you guys. So what is the price of 8 ounce of steak? How do you like your steak? Medium well done, whatever. Rare. Okay.
Medium rare.
It's still going to be the same
Okay.
price.
Okay. Rare, medium well done, no blood inside. Like I like it rare, but no blood inside. And they ask me how. I tell them you suck the blood out it and bring it to me. So, what is the price of an 8 ounce steak?
You mean in a restaurant, way up?
What is the price? I did not give any qualifications. The question is, what is the price?
25.
Okay, so we have to write all the numbers, okay? So, slow is okay. So, $16, $25. Any other prices for us?
$42.
$42 in, no, the $42 in the cake. That's right. Okay.
So it could be 10.
It could be 10,
Walmart.
and it's $10 actually in Dennis. Between $8 to $10 at Dennis. You know Dennis restaurant? They are about $10 over there.
It's a pretty thin steak.
No, it's the same. This is
Oh,
by
an 8
pound.
ounce.
It's an 8 ounce. It's not.
ounce.
It depends on how big it is this way.
No. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because if it's
How
8
much
way,
this
it's
one-
really Skinny.
How much this one you will buy at Superstore?
16.
At Superstore,
Sure.
Cheaper.
8 ounce.
30% if they have the label.
I don't know. I don't shop with my family.
Yeah. 8 ounce at Superstore will be around $3.
Yeah, it's $10.
That's all.
Okay.
It's 8 ounce, guys. It's not a pound. Okay.
Oh,
8 ounce is smaller than a pound.
Half a pound.
Just one piece.
Okay. Okay. Brahim. Anyway.
I want to shop where you shop.
Do you know they sell steak at
So-
dollar
So
stores in the States?
in just guys, please focus. We don't want to have side discussion because we have very limited time. Okay. And you can actually buy the same steak at $150 in Fairmont hotels.
Kobe beef?
It doesn't need to be Kobe beef. It doesn't need to be Kobe beef. So the question is why people will pay $16, $25, or $42 for the same plate of steak.
It's more about the experience. Like it's in a different environment.
The branding.
because it's more about the experience, it's more about the branding, it's more about where you ask for the same product. Have you never had this experience?
Yeah, perceived quality is what I was thinking.
Yeah, so perceived quality,
Perceived.
okay, experience, where you buy it as a brand. We also use the examples at the time of the 100% leather, natural leather bags, buying it from India versus buying it from Michael Kors or Burberry or any of this during these discussions. That's right. So in pricing, one factor is the perceived quality, one factor is the experience, one factor from where you get it from. Is it always like that? So let's get to a closer example, okay? If I want to talk about 8 ounce of coffee, how much is this similar coffee? Is it 8 or 12? The medium size. 12, sorry, 12. 12 ounce of coffee. So how much is the 12 ounce of coffee at Starbucks?
$4, $5.
310. I worked there, so I know.
I bet he's
Okay. How much this coffee at Tim Horton? It's less than $2. It's about 160. Okay, because it's a medium, not the
$1.75 it went up. I get it.
175. Okay, no.
It's $1 at McDonald's right now.
Okay. McDonald's actually was outside the example, but we can have it. It's $1 at McDonald's, and there's also $1 at Travelodge, Motel 6. Then is all other places who will give you this white cup. You know, there's a signature white cup for coffee, which
Styrofoam?
no, it's
Ceramic?
ceramic.
Restaurant ceramic cups, right?
Yeah. So all of them are, and others, they have it for $1. Now, what about the fair trade locations? Like, you understand what fair trade coffee is? So in a fair trade coffee, this one will be around $4. Okay. In Dunkin' Donuts, this one it's about 1.5. In Dunkin' Donuts, which is a chain, we don't have it in Canada. What about the organic places where they have organic coffee? This one can jump up to $7 to $8 organic, and this is fair trade. These are symbolic numbers. These are not the exact number because there's GST, PST, and all the other T's there. But this is our ballpark numbers. That's right. Do you agree? So if I want to price my program, I have to understand what these people are selling. Are these people selling coffee?
No.
Not necessary. Not necessary. So for sure McDonald's and others are selling coffee. You go for McAfee, coffee. It's a coffee. Nothing else. Just a coffee. Tim Horton is selling a special coffee for a special test. So, but however, all of these are just coffee, including Dunkin' Donuts. This is just coffee. It's a commodity. Me too. We are coffee too. Okay. This is a special coffee. What about the others? For your information, Starbucks started around 1975. It's the latest one came to the market. Dunkin' Donuts was the first one. Tim Horton came second. So the latest one is selling it almost double or more. So what do they sell over there? Do they sell coffee? If you don't know sorry?
Porsches in a cup.
They don't sell coffee. So I appreciate people who understand these concepts. I'm not talking to get I'm not answering. So they give the other individuals who are not aware of this particular science and art to understand to follow and understand. Starbucks. When you go to Starbucks, what do you experience?
Personal. Get your name.
No.
It's
No.
atmosphere, sofas and
It's a business
lighting and
atmosphere.
business atmosphere.
It's not a business atmosphere. They call it coffee experience. So Starbucks is not in the business of selling coffee. Starbucks is the business of selling coffee experience. Dixie and Roxana was never been known as a common names of individuals till Starbucks decided to name Granti, Venti. What is the name of the smallest one?
Tall.
Tall.
Tall,
Tall Grande Venti.
Tall, Grandi, Venti, which is small, medium, large. So why is not called large? Why is called Venti? It's part of the experience. Okay? So when I sell you experience, that's why almost all Starbucks stores will be the same. Will have a fire area. That's right. Almost all of them, because they say almost all of them will be. That's right. Almost all of them will have the same settings because they share with you experience. Now, when you go to Starbucks, will they tell you if you don't order within the hour you have to go and leave our Wi-Fi? No. But if you go now to some of the Tim Hortons and some of the McDonald's places, they will tell you, you know what, kid? If you don't spend money every hour, leave our Wi-Fi alone. Because I go to places and I get a water cup, I sit there, and I be there for like 10 hours. I only drink water, okay? They don't make any money out of me. So they try to cut people like me. Yes, sir.
So what they've done now is, so that on the outside they dry you with the $1 coffee, but then they leave everybody at the front, and they have the tablet with the screen, so they put all these visual, expensive stuff, and they make you stand there.
This is a different model, different things we can talk about. But what I want to make sure people understand here is, what do you sell? What do you sell? So if you sell coffee experience, you are me only. We call this only. I am the only one who sells you coffee experience. What about the fair trade? What the fair trade sells you? It's not a coffee.
It's to guarantee that they will pay fair value to the
So it sells you that you are a good citizen.
idea. Yeah.
You are a good citizen, that's right. So it sells like you are a good citizen. It sells you a cause.
You don't rip off the others.
Do you have any guarantee of that?
No.
Anyway, what about the organic?
Concept.
It sells you a good feeling when you drink a coffee. Okay, there is no such thing called organic, by the way. Okay? Because, and if you want to challenge me, I can give you a very simple answer, you know? It's not like the earth is flat or circle. But
I think as close as you can get to organic are the beans that are eaten by the monkeys that people pay thousands of
there is
dollars.
no such organic thing because basically our air, ma'am, basically our air has pollution.
Yeah.
When the clouds are formed, they move around, they drip water, they take this toxic down, which is
Yeah.
chemicals down to the ground. The only way to generate 100% organic is to produce filtered water, zero toxic in it.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about fertilizing, just toxic in it.
Yeah.
And make sure all animals who produce the natural fertilizers are using the same water, and you start first with a corn which completely zero chemicals in it. It's next to impossible. So what we do is we come and say, you know what, if these chemicals are below a specific line, they are considered organic. I go buy organic stuff, you know, don't get me wrong. Yeah, but we go buy organic because they don't have similar product in non-organic.
Well, I'm sorry, I was making a joke.
No, it's okay. It's just I want you to understand, like, when we go and drink coffee, which we can get for free at our house because we don't buy, somebody give us gift even the coffee beans. So when we go get the coffee, we are not necessarily buying coffee. So let's talk about the second example. How many of you here don't eat pizza or don't know what pizza means? Everybody here eats pizza?
No,
There are some people who don't eat meat, so
I don't eat pizza, but
okay.
I know what pizza is.
Okay. So let's talk about pizza. So, what is your favorite store of pizza?
Sophie's.
What?
Sophie's.
I don't know what it
It's
is.
a private.
Okay.
SIBO.
And Seaboard. Okay.
Bio.
Do you know Domino's Pizza?
Carway.
Domino's Pizza.
Little Caesar.
And do you know the deep dish Chicago pizza?
Yeah.
Okay.
Burns.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I heard they're good.
Burns or
Pizza Hut.
Coco Brooks.
Or Pizza Hut.
Little Caesar.
Coke.
Might as
Okay.
well put Bob
Little
down
Caesar.
there.
Okay.
Tom.
The question I have is, what Domino's Pizza is selling?
A quick pizza. It's
quick-
fast.
Oh,
30 minutes or
service.
Okay.
Experience.
So Domino's Pizza is selling 30 minutes or less. Fast pizza. Is there anybody else selling fast pizza?
Pizza 73.
No.
No.
No. No. My son loves, but my son exclusive pizza 73, so it takes less than 20 minutes from the time I order over the phone to the time somebody will pick it up. They always tell you 20 minutes, but if you show up 15, 17 minutes, you find it ready, okay? I know. But they don't announce that.
No.
Pizza 73, they are into the bundling thing, the 2 for 1.
Bundling, yeah.
The 2 for 1. So when you are in the 2 for 1, you are in the 2 for 1. This is what they do. I don't believe they have a box of one pizza only.
No, they changed. It's all
That's right. I don't believe like they have one carton box to fit one pizza.
It's always two.
So why people buy from Domino's Pizza? Because it's
Fast.
That's the big one. It's a brand.
which one is the Domino's Pizza more money than 73 or the opposite?
Domino's is cheap.
Domino's is actually more expensive than Pizza 73. It's about double the price. Because they are into the fast business, pizza business. Does Domino's Pizza has any competitor? Does it have any competition? They have zero competition.
Really?
Nobody compete Domino's Pizza. Because nobody is in the 30-minute pizza. And when they came up with the 30 minutes pizza or free, nobody could copy this tagline. Nobody can copy the brand because anybody will copy, they know they are behind. Okay? Now, what about these pizzas? These is our special pizzas. Deep dish pizza is pizza 2. We are pizza 2. Okay? We call this concept blue ocean, red ocean. And it's a longer discussion on a concept, but just to give you snapshots of it. When you define your service as you are the only one, we are the only one in North America deal with personal branding, and maybe in the world, in the way we deal with it. When your brand is the only one. When you are the only one, can anybody compete on your pricing? Can anybody compete with you in your market? No. I have tons of advertisement where I can show you, like if you go buy from, Charmin, what Charmin is selling?
Toilet paper.
Softness.
Yeah, if you look at the very, 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 very first televised ad of Charmin, I have it, early 1950s. they say is soft and
Stretchy,
strong.
strong.
And the lady was on the boat. If you can look, if you want to look it up on YouTube, you see the lady was in the boat, and they have towels for wiping a mirror, and then she will come with Charmin. She said this is the new thing, because at that time people did not know that they can use toilet papers. They did not know they can use paper. They used toilet towels at that time. So it was very interesting. So since the beginning, they are softer and 30% stronger. What about Pampers? You know Pampers, the diapers? Pampers is not in the diapers business.
It was to help a child sleep through the night without being
How?
wet.
How?
Disposable.
They are high. No, they are 30%, 3 times absorbent. 3 times absorbent.
If you want to have a garden in a small pot to last more than a week in the summer, I'd buy on sale the Pampers, and I take the lining out and I mix it with my potting soil, and it holds the water for, if I go away for 10 days, it'll hold the water so that I don't lose my plants.
Similarly, if you have a burn or a bruise and you need to have a cold patch, take one of these diapers, put it in water, put it in the freezer. It will work. There are actually a show. I was watching a show on alternative use of Pampers, which was very interesting. If you are doing moving, instead of getting the wraps, you put them in Pampers, so all the china will not break. So that's other way. But I don't wanna divert from the main topic. So Pampers against Huggies. Pampers is the 3 times absorbent. Huggies is what? It fits.
It's better.
It fits better. So these individuals are defining markets for them. And the way to define markets where you don't have competition is, this is our examples of. So if I wanna go back to my pricing, what my pricing about? Is my pricing about the value I drive, or it's a profit plus the cost of material, which we call it cost of goods sold, COGS. That's right. So what is my pricing? If you work out here, like I know some of you were talking to me and they say, okay, we see the cost of how much will it cost us to offer a service, and then what is my how much profit I can make, and this will be my pricing. This is dangerous, because if I go to China, what will happen? I will get a Chinese professor. That's it. You know? But this is tough. This is tough business. Okay. When you understand why retail stores are moving out right now and they shut down and they close out, because their margins cannot go high, and the cost of transportation and cost of goods going high to the roof. And I can show you a few examples of that. So when people try to make pricing, they look at what is the value of my offer. And who is the best one who's selling us this value? Are universities. If you remember the example of your university, you go to the university, you pay about $250,000 in 4 to 5 years education, and you go out, you make $50,000 a year, and if you add the extra cost, you will find out it takes about 10 years or more to have a 4 years degree, which doesn't make sense. And that's why majority of uneducated people or lower level educated people are in Alberta, because with the existing of the oil field, majority of the kids will realize they can go to the oil field early on. So if you count the numbers of bachelor and master degrees in Alberta, they are much lower than Ontario per capita, and maybe elsewhere, maybe, and also British Columbia, because these people find more. And there are more bachelor and master degrees in Saskatchewan than Alberta, because these people want to move elsewhere and they need these qualifications. So you must define your program based on your values. The price is driven by the value. One part of the value will be the demographic or the venue. So, are you selling it for in Hawaii or are you selling it in? We had discussions early on here with the VIP group. If you do an event in Banff versus an event in Calgary, which one will sell at a higher price? Okay, and which one will be most likely have a higher attractions and they can sold out quickly? And then people will fly through where? Calgary Airport. Okay, and to be more interesting, if you have 2 to 3 days in Banff and this individual wants to do shopping, they will drive back to Calgary to do shopping and they come back. But the attractions makes a difference. So you should price your offer based on the value. Does this make sense? And in our regular programs, we talk about, we have sessions on and videos and all kinds of stuff to give you more understanding on the blue ocean, red ocean, and how the competitors can do. One other factor here is the competition. So the biggest challenge is how people can compete against you. This is what can drive your pricing down. So if you have a higher competition and you try to, when you try to compete on the pricing, what will happen? Everybody will have the price down. That's why when I told you Tim Horton will close down between 2 to 5 years, they will go out of business. Because Tim Horton right now is working on the pricing. They compete, they start to produce gift card, which is 50% discounted on Groupon, which is never seen before. You go buy a $10 gift card for $5 at Groupon. And we know Groupon will take about 66%, which means these people are selling at 1/8, which will get to their pockets.
And I think some of that is they're trying to build their name back up after the Ontario incident.
We don't believe they will be coming back. For them, they are just dripped out. And so if you watch these dynamics, and we discuss these dynamics as a group, it gives you so many ideas about like where can you price your services and how can you price it. What is the right price? Is the price customers are willing to pay. Full stop. If you work with $1 million company, you can charge them $100,000. If you work with a $10,000 company, you have to charge them hundreds of dollars. If you work with a $100,000 company, you have to charge them $1,000 or $10,000.
And if you don't, the perceived your value is not there.
If you don't perceive your value and cannot articulate them, you are not even part of the game.
Yeah.
So you have to articulate your value.
Proportional to what they are able to pay.
Yes. How many of you here will go and buy material and buy services on their credit card? And sometimes, and how many of you will buy different things from the stores, and after 2 years they will find them in their original bag, in the garage or in the basement or in the car? I found a bag in the garage like after 3.5 years from Costco with the receipt in it. So I took the bag with whatever content there with the receipt. I went to Costco and they gave me my money back.
Amazing.
After 3.5 years. And this example, because this was in the garage, and somebody took it from the car when we came in, left it in the garage, it was overlooked. It can tell you that things can happen that people even are not aware. Because if you are aware you bought something, you have to look for it. But if you have some stuff left behind, you are not even aware of it. It means what?
You didn't need it in the first place.
Or you didn't need it in the first place, and you even forget what. So how many of you will go and buy small like chlor or detergent or extra bag of Coke, and when they go home they realize that they already have some and they didn't need to buy this right away? If this happened to people around you or to you, it means that people can buy, and they will buy without they really need. Usually individuals can find ways to find money to pay if they are convinced that they will need in the future. And if I want to go to first aid kits and all the kind of like, how many of you here have been using the spare tire in their car? People who use, yeah, you see, like, if you have a service, usually you don't use it. So why do you even have it? Just in case, and the case never happened. Like,
Tesla has no spare tire anymore.
you know?
Acura doesn't have one either.
So this is a point which should be clear for you. That if you can articulate the values, if you can take the customer or the client towards on the journey, what the values they will receive, and they agree with you, they will be able to find money to pay for your program. Full stop. Okay? Any questions?
What's the last word in the circle? You've got perceived quality, experience,
Branding.
Brand.
brand.
Brand, yeah. And this is the last day, so you'll not have to see this tomorrow. So don't worry.
Thank God.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
How exactly can we articulate the value?
As I said in the very beginning, the why people buy. What is the triggers for people to buy from you? What can trigger individuals? I always make up the 4 colors because I want you to remember these colors. People will buy because you help them making money, or you help them save. No, you help them making money or avoid unnecessary costs, or you are a cost effective. So when you talk about the money thing, you have to understand it's plus or minus. So what means plus money plus? You make more money, you make more profit. Okay? What is money minus?
You lose money.
You reduce the loss of the money.
Or reduce the loss?
Yeah, because money minus means loss of money, or you don't have enough money, or you overspend money. How I can make it a benefit? I help you reduce it. So, and these models for individuals who are starting or are in the middle of putting their program together, it will be it's an easy template. You should have few of these examples. Now, what about makeup and health products? It works on the relationship. So how you can have a good relation, or how you can avoid a sour or bad relation. The question is relationship with who? Because relationship means one with one. So you can, based on your offer, articulate it's a relationship between you and yourself, like makeup or a diet or special or a health product. It can be a good relationship between you and others. It can be a good relationship between a couple. Between a mom and the kids. It's function of what your program will impact of a relationship. This is our template. You don't share this with your customers. This is help you to understand what values you can provide. The following one will be around time. Can you save your customers time? Can you allow them to gain more time? If they gain more time, what they will do?
They'll make more money. Less
Or they can
overhead.
spend it more on their family relationship.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Okay? And each one of you must have a cost-effective, a step-by-step program, or a blueprint, wherever it is, on the process side. So on process or information. So why will you buy a book?
How?
Why you will buy a book? Because
Learn how.
because you will read the books, that's right? You get all the information from the book. So if I want to buy this book, it will give me all the information I need for this particular task.
Yeah, if it's a process book, right.
Yeah, or if it's like how to sell, how to be famous, how to build. So so books will get, we have perception that books has the information, all of them in one book. Will you rather reading a book or spend 10 hours in the library, locate the articles to cover the same material of the 10 chapters of the book? People would like to read a single book with 10 chapters instead of going and to read 10 different articles.
Yeah.
Okay? So this is just an example about how you can understand the information or the process. So if you agree, and I know Dedri was so fan, she's one of the fan of this particular quadrant. If you agree on this quadrant as a trigger for people to give you their credit card and pay money, can you articulate it in this way? So Starbucks is here. Is the coffee experience. The fair products are here, and a little bit of the relation, but it's more here. They give you a fair market pricing. The time people, the coffee, the quick coffee at Tim Horton and other places are here. And the organic is here.
What's a negative to the process?
How you negative to the process means the current process will be a complicated process, will be an unfounded process, like process does not exist. Okay? Lack of the process, bad process. How you can make bad process benefit to show you an effective process to replace the current process. So this is our template. These are not articulated statements. Can you take this template and articulate it relevant to your offer? Then what you will have is the following. You will have statements matching the same colors. So you will have a statement matching the same exact colors. So we need blue. And we have the red one. So you should have 4 categories of statements. Can one statement overlap 2 categories? Yes. A cost-effective, step-by-step program. It overlap. When I meet someone and I know their color type, how do you know their color type? By asking question. Where, if you get the lottery, what will happen? Where you spend, whatever. Which statement should I tell him or her? I should tell him or her the 4 statement, but in a different order. So if I meet a relationship individuals, I will start with the green statement. It's your choice which one you're gonna go next. If you meet engineer, process oriented, or accountant or bookkeeper, they are most likely they are in the blue area. So you start from the blue area and you keep going around. If you meet a president of a company, his money and the time. If you meet a vice president, he will be time and the process. If you meet a healer, which has a background as a bookkeeping or administration assistant, she will be here. Why?
That's awesome.
It does make sense?
Connecting dots. That's great.
Does it make sense?
Yep.
So all what you need to do, what do you do? They will tell you, I do this. For how long? Oh, for 5 years. Oh my God. Can you do bookkeeping for 5 years? I can't. I hate it. It's not my type of personality to do the same things all the time. I have to have innovation. So when I overcome this personality, every single workshop has like more than 40% new material because I cannot repeat the same material. And you may notice that when I go to the written workbook, did you feel like I don't feel comfort with it? Because for me, it's a replication of what happened before. I don't like it. I like this discussion because this is new. Can you tell this about my personality? So I am very lacking here. You will not be able to sell me here. You'll be able to sell me elsewhere. Because I was a CEO of few companies. So when you get more into this particular analysis, you can use it for so many. There are people are using it to get more engagement and workplace and so many. I'm using these models for how to detect the one in front of you so you can have a conversation which will lead to next step. Okay? Any more questions on the maze slide?
What was the maze? What was the circles?
Because you couldn't get out of the maze. I tried.
We drew on. No.
The maze, and we said when people keep coming. It was
An example.
Repeat.
an example, yeah, a repeat. Okay. Any questions? Now can you connect the dots around these ones?
So, I don't get the experience from Starbucks. I don't, and I just see it as a dollar value. I see it as a cup of coffee. So is that why I'm not a fan of Starbucks?
Yeah.
And it's more expensive.
Yeah, because also we have to understand that when we say everybody or the whole market, we mean
Because my wife loves Starbucks.
We
I
mean-
just don't get it. I'm going to.
Well, they sell a better.
Mike, Starbucks is main driven to the relationship people. And you are more on the process side. You lead with the process side. You have a good heart, I understand, but you have more leadership here than the relationship. Okay? However, when you execute your relationship with the family, which you can tell from the Facebook wall, and you go to all of this and spend all of this good time around these events, you always buy the seasons because you want to make the process efficient. So that's why you buy season tickets. For me, because if I miss in the seasons 2 or 3 or 4 games, buying individual games will be the same. That's right, something like that. And I'm sure, because you offer me so many times tickets, I'm sure you miss some games. And if you do the math at the end of the year, you will find that it was cheaper to buy it individually. But because you are a process oriented, or majority of us are process oriented, say, let's just buy it and just have a peace of mind. So they go buy the season pass. How many of you here have the Callaway Park? Like, we have the Callaway Park pass every year. And there are maybe the last 3 years I did not even use my pass. But every year we go there and say, yeah, it's $37 or $37 for the pass. Let's just get the pass. And the kids will go with his aunties, and his mom will go with her sisters. So I don't find a spot to go. Like, who I will talk to. Okay, so the closest I went is to Big Zam from the parking lot. This is the closest I went with my pass, so I didn't even use it. But because we say it's easier way to access the venue, that's why they sell you passes. Do you understand? Now, 80% when we say everybody is not 100%. So when you say everybody is doing that, is 80% of the population. Because there are always 20% will not like you because of you. That's it.
That's what the 80% was.
Yeah.
20% of the people will not buy your service because unknown reason.
We thought it was the Pareto that you were bringing in, but it's not.
So when you go around and offer your service to others, you are sorting. Sorting means you are qualifying and put them in order. Who will be willing to join your journey? Who is not willing, we can come to them later, or we can basically find out they say no for the sake of no. Because 80% will say no, and they don't mean it. They say no because we are not ready right now. They say no because they don't have, they did not perceive enough value. They say no because they have other priorities in their life, but they are not saying no to you or to your service. Do you know this concept? No doesn't mean no. So no is not a personal rejection. We have the fear of selling because we have the fear of being rejected. When I come and few of you around the table understand this very well, because they keep saying, no, we are not coming, no, we are not coming, no, we are not coming. And we were able to corner them somehow to push them to come. Now when they came in, they found the value and they are working on how to get in. So when somebody will say, no, I'm not interested, he does not mean it. He will mean it only if he says 3 times, and this is very rare. On the same token, 20% will not like me because it's me. No excuse, no reason. Okay? So when you come and say, I don't like Starbucks, however, if I offer you a Starbucks lease or a Starbucks dealership, will you take it? You will, because if you see the numbers, you will. It makes perfect sense to invest in a Starbucks franchisee. So you are not the customer of your product. Remember, I said this last time. You are not the customer of your product. So don't measure the quality of your product based on your personal values, not on your personal triggers. Practice the product for 6 weeks with different individuals and see what they will give you as a feedback, and then it change how you position the product. 6 times, 6 weeks, 6 months. Use the 6 as a magic number so you don't give up. Okay? Even 6 individuals in this room. If somebody come up with a new product right now, pick up 6 individuals and articulate the value, and when they say no, we are not interested, great. Can you tell me why? No, we are not interested. Awesome. Can I connect with you later on? No, we are not interested. No problem at all. You can have this pass for a free event, or you can pass it over to anybody else. This is all you do when people say no, I'm not interested. People say no, I'm not interested. Why should I listen to you? What you say? Somebody will come and say, why should I listen to you? What do you say? I know how you feel. Other people felt it. And when they talked to me, they found out that I was guiding them, and you start to articulate your benefit of your program, or the benefit of your mind, or the benefit of your advice, or the benefit of you as a good mom, good grandmom, good company, good friend, good husband, trusted source of information. When people say, why should I listen to you? You say, I know exactly how you feel. Other people felt it. However, when they talk to me, they found. And you articulate how good person you are, or how good your service. How many times did you hear this particular piece during this workshop?
Every day.
How many?
Every day.
So why you didn't answer my question? Because you don't have it yet settled in your body. This is part of my behavior right now. If anybody will give me rejection, you know what? Yeah, I totally understand where are you coming from. Equivalent, I understand. I know how you feel. Okay? And I heard it also so many times. However, this is what I do. So when you practice, what will happen? It become an attitude. It will kick in as part of my fundamental behavior. Why we go around and see people smiling all the time? Because they keep smiling.
Yesterday I talked about the channel changer and whatnot. So when I got home last night and whatnot, CNN was on, and my husband was sitting on the couch, and I said to him, it's the first time I've ever tried this. So I know you really like to watch that. How would it be if we tried something different? We changed the channel.
Oh, good. There you go.
It was, I took the how, the feel, and tried it on something totally different that never wins.
It's
and
not.
It worked.
It's not totally different.
Yeah.
It's not totally different.
Mm-hmm.
We teach it in business because this is a business-related course. This course or this workshop is the transition from who you are, what's your strengths, what's your weaknesses, how to map them to a business. If I teach communication between couples, it's the same. When we have been asked to take the garbage out and take the dishes out of the dishwashers, sometimes say, Ask nicely. What nicely means? It's not please and thank you. It's the sandwich. It's acknowledge the people, what the pain they have. Say the whatever you want to say, and at the end say nicely. Show them the benefit. It's a basic communication. I use these technologies in my personal life. Because anybody come really ignite because they misunderstand what I said, I have to agree with them. And then acknowledge it and move it to where I want to get it. So I appreciate you sharing with us this example.
Well, so with the field felt found, also instead of saying what I can do for you, can I tell you a story? Would the stories come in there?
Yeah, you can. If you want to tell a story, you can. If you want to tell
like an example from what
Yeah,
I did with somebody
yeah.
instead of like it's me who's doing it. But
yeah,
like,
yeah, you can. It's very legitimate. But the point I want to mention here is, when you use this technology or these techniques, you have to be in the same state of mind. It has to come naturally. Some of us, including Marcel, if he doesn't mind me, even he minds, I will share this about him. So Marcel used to sell products, and in his life, and then he came and he built these companies from Germany around North America, and he has this different. He has a very interesting journey. So I standed here and the very first experience of saying sales and the closing deal experience, and what are the learning, which basically resulted in this book. And this book actually is also up for sale on Amazon for $1,900. I sell this book for $2,000 on Amazon. And the discount you get there is coming from Amazon, not from me. So he smiled, and he's always smiling, but his smile became like, no, there is something different. This is not the standard smile. And then he said, is there anything wrong with what I'm saying? Because sometimes you have to make sure the message have been delivered as you want. He said, no, you know what? I know all of this. Well, I've been using them in my old business. I said, so why you don't use this with your business coaching? He said, no, it didn't come to my mind. Because he was, as example, we are trained to use specific knowledge in a framework. We are not trained to use this as a standard behavior in our daily life. Entrepreneurship, ladies and gentlemen, it's a behavior practice. It's not body of knowledge. It's not experiment. It's not an experimental learning. It's a behavior. It's an experience. You live it as entrepreneur, and you come with it, and you continue the journey. And that's why we failed in North America teaching it for 15 years. So what you used is great. Keep using it every time you have objection. Every time say, Mommy, why do we have this food today? I know you don't like the Spanish. This was the only ingredients we have here. Otherwise, do you like Mommy to go out in this cold weather? And guess what? The store may not have any other food. So you'll be hungry. What do you think? I will eat it this time. I have a little one who doesn't like Spanish. And this is exactly what I do. Last time he doesn't like chicken pizza. I got him chicken pizza. He ate it because it was the only thing left over. Last time he didn't like he does like only white rice. We didn't have white rice at home. We have this amazing Middle Eastern rice, which is brown and have all these nuts. He doesn't like nuts. He said, no, I don't like to eat it. I said, that's great. You know what? It will take me. I understand you don't like it. I know. I'm not pushing it on you. It's your decision. You want to wait for me for 1 hour to have the rice ready, or you take a little bit of that so you don't be hungry, and then you can have the white rice later at dinner. It's okay. I will have this for now. It works very nicely. It changed my whole life because I basically acknowledge when people come angry against me how I can do it. So please keep using it. Practice and use it. And that's
same like if you want to complain in the airline or something, first paragraph should be appraising them that we enjoyed the journey traveling with them and the staff and crew was very good. But however, I felt this thing need to be fixed and stuff. So I get more response with that kind of stuff.
Yes. And I'm one of the individuals who doesn't like to use the word but. Because but, I don't like it. I usually use however. So, and we shouldn't also use the stuff and things. and you shouldn't use can, and some of the words has to come out of our vocabulary. However, sometimes you basically fall back to your default status because your mind is not 100%, especially when you have cold, you know, your mind is not high. And it's okay, because I acknowledge the weakness I have. Is there anything wrong with that? Now, if when I acknowledge my weakness, what you think of me, what you feel about me,
You're genuine.
You're genuine, yeah.
okay? We have fears of having this sharing. And that's why when someone will come and say, why do you have to come for 3 days workshop? Because branding is an experience, and this workshop should transform you from a place to another. How many times did you have this on the screen here? How many times did you talk about it in a different way? And if somebody tell you why should I listen to you, what you should say? You did not answer. If somebody will say, why should I listen to you? What should you say?
I know how
I
you
understand.
feel.
I can feel what you're feeling.
Others have felt it as well.
Yeah. So any objections you get, you can use the same methodology, same technique. Just program your brain on that. When you are tired, it's okay. When you are in a bad mood, it's okay. But in the standard operation, you should be able always to tackle in this way. Communications is about words, is about how you look, is about all this intuition thing, but it's primarily how you can accept others in your. Like if I come to anyone and say, don't do that, they will, why? They will do it. But I appreciate you are here. You know what? What you are doing actually is like disturbing others. So can you don't answer your phone? Can you, when you answer your phone, go to the back? We have a nice small meeting room or table over there. Can you sit over there so people will not listen to the echo of your voice? So because you cannot tell people don't answer their phones. You cannot tell people don't accept long distance calls. It's not right. So I don't say don't. I say okay. Here is the alternative. I believe Ahmed. I took him back. Like, you can sit here and it's a empty space, and you can enjoy. And actually, we are sitting. I'm not even walking here and standing in the washroom or the kitchen. You can basically say. So when you have this alternative in your setting, you don't use don't use not.
Yeah.
The not, people will not resonate with it. Give them alternative. This is 101 working with kids. That's right. And we are kids at heart.
I had worked with kids, yeah.
That's right. That's why I'm looking for you.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we are kids at heart.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more feedback on the experience on the sheets on the back? Is there any other things you could not read?
Oh. Nope, for the most part I figured it out. And Marianne is awesome.
Being
She's a
missing, I
great translator.
appreciated breaking it out into groups and having people learn or retain more by explaining it to me.
Yep.
I think it helped me a lot.
It's part of the formal ways of teaching entrepreneurship. It's actually inside the book of how 44 techniques. This is one of the techniques. You learn from your peers. You learn from your cohort group. You learn from a guest speaker. So yesterday when I brought in our guest speaker, Mr. Williams, he was a guest speaker. He gave a 20-minute talk. A guy passed away a few years ago, so we could not get him, but we got him from YouTube, and then we discussed what he said. That's right. This is also part of what you can do in your own workshops, what you can do in your own website, what you can do in your webinars, because this is a way to train individuals how to transform to something else. In adult learning, this is one of the techniques. Any more discussions on any more feedback or reflections on the sheets out there?
I was just thinking of a negative on time. So I was thinking of the coffee thing here. Quick coffee at Tim's would appeal to someone in the time.
We are one-stop shop. You know, when they tell you we are one-stop shop, like, you know why malls are very popular? Because the mall will save you time. So when you go to a mall, it will save you time because you have all the convenience stores around. It's the same for Walmart. Why Walmart is very common? Because from process perspective,
Everything.
everything. Let me tell you one more story here, which is very interesting. If you wanna, do you want to start an interesting story about FedEx?
Sorry, I think she was asking about the negative on time.
Yeah, I know. Do you want a story about FedEx? Do you use FedEx?
FedEx.
FedEx,
Yeah,
okay.
Do you know that FedEx does not make a left turn? The FedEx trucks for delivery do not make left turns.
I did not know. Because they want to be in front of your house.
Not necessary. My house is on the left side of the road, so I can make a left turn. So one engineer had the problem that FedEx start to find out they have delay in delivery, and they have higher rate of accidents. So when he engineered the problem, I believe 2010, he found out that when the truck will turn right only, because what will happen if you turn left? You have to wait for the flow to stop. That's right, yield on left. So when he make a right turn, it will be quicker. So he had a mandate that all FedEx trucks will turn right. When they apply this on the global service they have globally, they were able to reduce in North America the time of delivery. They were able, I believe, to deliver up close to 300,000 packages more in the first year. They saved about 30% or more in gas, and in the consequent years they saved more than 40% of the cost of insurance because they have less accidents
By not turning right.
by only turning right.
Only turning.
Oh, by not turning left.
Yeah, by only turning right. So when you talk about negative time savings, so when you talk about, this is an example, it's how you can reach the 4 quadrant with just one solution.
It's a good story.
It's not a story, it's a fact of what happened.
It's also a good story.
You can have one solution, it will save gas because you don't have now to wait for the left turn. You make right turn, you will have fast delivery. The truck now can make more than one trip in the same time. They delivered more packages. Everything start, and then next year they have the insurance thing. So they were able to reach the money thing, the relationship, the process, and time. So when you talk about negative time, means what you don't like about negative time. Negative means loss or pain. Negative means pain of the time. So what's pain in your time? Relevant to your service. So if you give a quick solution, it will solve the pain of the time. If you give an effective solution, it touches on the pain of the time. If you give an efficient solution, it touches on the pain of the time. So what is the time pain? If you give it a longer solution or a longer entertainment, it will touch on the pain of the time that you don't know what to do. You are bored. Like Patricia was supposed to come here from St. Albert, and she actually has it on my Facebook wall, I cannot come because there's no warning and stuff. She was having yesterday a post on her Facebook, I am bored. So I didn't want to tell her in the comment, because you did not come to the workshop as I invited you and you promised to come, okay? So if you are selling anti-boring solution, you know what's mean anti-boring solutions? We call it entertainment. You can come and say, I will save you the time of being bored. So look at the negative sign here, or the dashes, as a pain point. And the pluses are the pleasure points. Okay? So how many of you feel right now that they have enough value and they don't need more? Is it enough? Do you have enough content to go on the next level right now? Or you need more material?
More, please.
No, I don't want to give more. I don't want to overwhelm you. You should have a choice, because some of you at the state you are, not the state, I don't mean the age, I mean at the state you are. Some of us are struggling with our businesses, and we have been attempt to solve it with so many solutions, and almost all of these solutions did not work for us. So we are in a frustrated state. So when we come and overwhelm you with more new knowledge, what will happen? You will freak out. You will not work. So that's why I'm asking. Yeah, that's why I'm asking the question. Did you have enough in the 3 days right now? Can we conclude, or you need to, or you would like to learn more?
More.
I'm sure I have enough that I've worked through some of the homework, and so now I feel like I've got a bit more capacity.
It's the human nature, curiosity, you know, that once it's still you are hiding.
No, this is not. This was the value of who? Somebody has the value of curiosity last time. Who has the? Yeah, Marcel. Marcel is the only one who value curiosity. So nobody else can talk about curiosity other than Marcel. Okay. Okay. So.
I share my words.
So there are two topics I wanna share with you. One of them is on web services and online presence, and the other one is around how you can present your work and how you can present your service to somebody. And then we have two pieces. One of them is a visualization journey on passion, which to extract your passion. So this is the two pieces we have for the last part of the workbook. Which one do you like to talk about it first? Online presence or how to present your service? So we can have one session right now and one after lunch. Online presence or
Sure.
who here wants to talk about how to present your business? And who wants to talk about online presence?
Online presence.
Online presence?
How to present.
How to present your business.
So Marcel, can you make a count?
Can you do this again?
Online
I think it was
presence.
even, so we have to flip the coin.
It doesn't matter. We're going to talk about
Whatever you
both of them.
Well, we're going to talk about both. It doesn't matter. So
So go with the logical order.
the logical order will be how to present your business. Because if you want to craft your message first,
Yeah.
Then
then
go to the
to go to the website.
We have a 5-minute break.
Yeah, you can have a 5-minute break and when we come.
Copyright 2017 Win Your Brand. All rights reserved. This video is subject to copyright owned by Win Your Brand. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this video is expressly prohibited, unless Win Your Brand has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.